Alright. Back in it at Skyrim Survival. Welcome back. We had just gotten done a kind of a side mission here on our way to Ivanstead. Flowers. It's my pale horse. We had helped the dude get rid of a necromancer in his family's crypt. You know, being a bit of good Samaritans. There was a book in there I should have read. No. If I need, at any point, when there are, like, specific books on my list. Like, if I'm down to, like, 10 or... Dragon. Hello? Dragon? Dragon. Hello? Hey, buddy? Ow. Alright, I need that. Resist fire. I do not. Dang it. And then... Oh, that. Oh, wait, actually, first, ghost. Here. You deal with him close, I deal with him farther away. Got that. Health. I have... Alrighty, you dragon. Big buddy. Ah. Alright, is my dude still here? To regenerate him. Oh yeah, this song. Get him. No arrows. I don't. What? Should have thought plenty of arrows. I'm out of arrows. The heck? When did that happen? Well, alright. Close combat, or no, magic it is then. Or no, wait, let's use our base. And back. There you go. Do I have enough to carry? I take one bone, one scale. There. Fetch me a hefty price. I can unlock a shop now. What shops can I do? Mark for death. Fire breath. Mark for death. Alrighty. Now, where did my horse go? Horse. I need to detect life magic. So I can figure out where my horse is going when they disappear like this on me. There you are. It's further down the road. Now it's thistle. Among the thistle. Alright. Back at it. Just a random dragon walking down the road. Hey, goat. Don't headbutt me, goat. Is this the right way? Hello? Another dragon. I hear another dragon somewhere. I'm not going the right way, am I? No, I'm not. Got turned around. But I hear a dragon. Get it later. For now, we gotta make our way to Ivanstead. I want to talk to him.
Greetings, sister. You look weary. I have something to help you relax, if you're interested.
Well, actually, hold on. Wait. I can sell you stuff I have.
Greetings, sister. Take a look.
Yeah, you're a skooma head.
Fight well.
Let me at least eat something. Is that it? Am I good? There we go. You gotta eat some cooked meat. That fills you up. Alright, back on track. I think there was, yeah. Taking a wrong turn. That goes to Windhelm. This goes to Ivanstead. And there's a cave this way. Stop at the cave. Lost Knife Cave. Lost Knife Hideout. Oh. Looks like there's some either witchy or trolly stuff in here. I'm gonna need to... I'm out of arrows, I forgot. So... What I'm gonna want to do.
So, you're saying you brought that cat down alone? Why? You don't think I could do it? Wasn't our last catch a cave bear? Yeah, why? Take down that one with your bare hands, too.
Troll's blood, was he a tough one?
Phew.
But I've got the key to the saber cage. Look.
What's that supposed to prove? Get back on patrol.
Is someone there? Brought you down! Such a... Two up.
Lockpick, thank you. Iron arrows. Got that key. Tanning rag. Health potions. Which means now I can use this. Ooh, and I can also should recharge my weapon.
Does someone live among the dead?
Hold still. There you go. Alright, what do we got? Ooh. Words and philosophy. Let's give that a read. Alright. Lady Bannock's Words and Philosophy. Lady Alan Bannock, former master of the Valenwood Fighters Guild and head of the Emperor's personal guard in the Imperial City, has been leading a campaign to reacquaint the soldiers of Tamriel with the sword. I met with her on 3 different occasions for the purposes of this book. The first time was at her suite in the palace, on the balcony overlooking the gardens below. I was early for the interview, which had taken me nearly 6 months to arrange, but she gently chided me for not being even earlier. I've had time to put up my defenses now, she said, her bright green eyes smiling. Lady Bannock is a Bosmer, a wood elf, and like her ancestors, took to the bow in her early years. She excelled at the sport, and by the age of 14 she had joined the hunting party of her tribe as a Jaxper, a long-distance shooter. During the Black Year of 396, when the Parik tribe began their rampage through eastern Valenwood with the aid of the powers of the Somerset Isle, Lady Bannock fought the futile battle to keep her tribe's land. I killed someone for the first time when I was 16, she says now. I don't remember it very well. He or she was a blur on the horizon when I was aiming my bow. It meant no more to me than shooting animals. I probably killed 100 people like that during the summer and fall. I didn't really feel like a killer until that wintertide, when I learned that it was like what it was like to look into a man's eyes as you spilled his blood. It was a scout from Parik tribe who surprised me when I was on camp watch. We surprised each other, I suppose. I had my bow at my side, and I just panicked and tried to string an arrow when he was half a yard away from me. It was the only thing I knew to do. Of course, he struck first with his blade, and I just fell back in shock. You always remember the mistakes of your first victim. His mistake was assuming because he had drawn blood and I had fallen that I was dead. I rushed at him the moment he turned from me towards the sleeping camp of my tribesmen. He was caught off guard, and I wrestled his blade away from him. I don't know how many times I stabbed at him. By the time I stopped, when the next watch came to relieve me, my arms were black and blue with strain. There was not a solid piece of him left. I had literally cut him into pieces. You see, I had no concept of how to fight, or how much it took to kill a man. Letty Binnock, aware of this deficiency in her education, began teaching herself swordsmanship at once. You can't learn how to use a sword in Valenwood, she says, which isn't to say Bosmer can't use blades, but we're largely self-taught. As much as it hurt when a tribe found itself homeless, pushed to the north, it did have one good aspect. It afforded me the opportunity to meet Redguards. Studying all the manners of weapon wielding under the tutelage of Warde Akor, Lady Binnock excelled. She became a freelance adventurer traveling through the wilds of southern Hammerfell and northern Valenwood, protecting caravans and visiting dignitaries from the various dangers indigenous to the population. Unfortunately, before we were able to pursue her story of her early years any further, Lady Binnock was called away on urgent summons from the Emperor. Such is often the case with the Imperial Guard, and in these troubled times, perhaps more so than in the past. When I tried to contact her for another talk, her servants informed me that their mistress was in Skyrim. Another month passed, and when I visited her suite, I was told she was in High Rock. To her credit, Lady Binnock actually sought me out for our second interview on Sun's Dusk of that year. I was in a tavern in the city called the Blood and the Rooster, when I felt her hand on my shoulder. She sat down at the rude table and continued her tale as if it had never been interrupted. She returned to the theme of her days as an adventurer, and told me about the first time she ever felt confident with a sword. I owned at that time an enchanted daikatana, quite a good one, of Daedric metal. It wasn't an original Akaviri, not even of design. I didn't have that kind of money, but it did serve my primary purpose of delivering as much damage with as little effort on my part as possible. Akor had taught me how to fence, but when faced with a life or death situation, I always fell back on the old overhand wallop. A pack of orcs had stolen some gold from a local chieftain in Mediti, and I was looking for them in one of the ubiquitous dungeons that dot the countryside in that region. There were the usual rats and large spiders, and I was enough of a veteran by then to dispatch them with relative ease. The problem came when I found myself in a pitch-black room, and all around me I heard the grunts of orcs nearing me. I waved my sword around me, connecting with nothing, hearing their footsteps coming even nearer. Somehow I managed to hold back my fear and to remember the simple exercises Master Akor had taught me. I listened, stepped sideways, swung, twisted, stepped forward, swung a circle, turned around, sidestepped, swung. My instinct was right. The orcs had gathered in a circle around me, and when I found a light, I saw that they were all dead. That's when I focused on my study of swordplay. I'm stupid enough to require a near-death experience to see the practical purposes, you see. Lady Binnock spent the remainder of the interview responding in her typical blunt way of the veracity of various myths that surrounded her and her career. It was true that she became the master of Valenwood Fighters Guild after winning a duel with the former master, who was a stooge of the Imperial Battle Mage, the traitor Jargar Tharn. Was not true. It was not true that she was the one responsible for the Valenwood Guild's disintegration 2 years later. Actually, the membership in the Valenwood chapter was healthy, but in Tamriel overall, the mood was not conducive for the continued existence of a non-patriotic bipartisan organization of freelance warriors. It was true that she first came to the Emperor's attention when she defended Queen Akorithie of Sentinel from a Breton assassin. It was not true that the assassin was hired by someone in the High Court of Daggerfall. At least, she says wryly, that was never been proven. It was also true that she married her former servant Erkin after he had been in her service for 11 years. No one knows how to keep my weaponry honed like he does, she says. It's a practical business. I either had to give him a raise or marry him. The only story I asked her that she would neither admit nor refute was the one about Calaxes, the Emperor's bastard. When I brought up the name, she shrugged, professing no knowledge of the affair. I pressed on with the details of the story. Calaxes, though not in line for succession, had been given the archbishopric of the One, a powerful position in the imperial city and indeed over all Tamriel, where that religion is honored. Whispering began immediately that Calaxes believed that the gods were angered with the secular governments of Tamriel and the emperor specifically. It was even said that Calaxes advocated full-scale rebellion to establish a theocracy over the empire. It is certainly true, I pressed on, that the emperor's relationship with Calaxes had become very stormy, and that the legislation had been passed to limit the church's authority. That is, up until the moment when Calaxes disappeared, suddenly without notice to his closest friends. Many said that Lady Bannock and the Imperial Guard assassinated the Archbishop Calaxes in the sacristy of the church. The date usually given was the 29th of Sun's Dusk, Third Era, 498. Of course, responds Lady Bannock with one of her mysterious grins. I don't need to tell you that the Imperial Guard's position is as protectors of the throne, not assassins. But surely, no one is more trusted that the Guard for such a defensive operation, I said carefully. Lady Bannock acknowledges that but merely says that such details of her duties must remain secret as a matter of imperial security. Unfortunately, her ladyship had to leave early the next morning, as the emperor had business down south. Of course, I couldn't be told more specifics. She promised to send me word when she returned so we could continue our interview. As it turned out, I had business of my own in the Somerset Isle, compiling a book on the Sigic Order. It was therefore with surprise that I met her ladyship 3 months later in Firsthold. We managed to get away from our respective duties to complete our third and final interview, on a walk along the Daiketo, the great river that passes through the royal parks of the city. Steering away from the questions of her recent duties and assignments, which I guessed rightly she was loath to answer, I returned to the subject of sword fighting. Frandar Hunding, she says, lists 38 grips, 750 offensive and 1,800 defensive positions, and nearly 9,000 moves essential to sword mastery. The average back and slasher knows one grip, which he uses primarily to keep from dropping his blade. He knows one offensive position, facing his target, and one defensive position, fleeing. Of the multitudinous rhythms and inflections of combat, he knows less than one. The ways of the warrior were never meant to be the easiest path. The archetype of the idiot fighter is as solidly ingrained as that of the brilliant wizard and the shrewd thief. But it was not always so. The figure of the philosopher swordsman and the blade-wielding artist are creatures of the past, together with the sword singer of the Red Guards, who was said to be able to create and wield a blade with but the power of his mind. The future of the intelligent blade wielder looks bleak in comparison to the glories of the past. Not wanting to end our interviews on a sour note, I pressed Lady Allen Bannock for advice for young blade swingers just beginning their careers. When confronted with a wizard, she says, throwing petals of canthaleaf into the deck toe, close the distance and hit him hard. Ah. Moira, thank you. What? What do I need? What can I drop? No, bombing tool. And down he goes. Getting so good at sneaking. Can't do that. Sneaking. Sneaking. Sneaky, 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 sneak, 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 sneak.
What was that?
Alright, thank you. Alright, what else do we got? So way up there, but there's also a thing here. Hello. It's so satisfying when I do that. Hello.
Time to die, hero! I'm gonna wear that. Tail is a.
Did you say you're gonna wear my tail as something?
Have you?
So I think that essentially decreases his abilities somewhat. Alright, I know you guys somewhere will have a... Alright, is there anything I can eat? Or any scroll I don't need? And we don't need that scroll. Alright, there's that. Continuing on. Give me a bed. I need to level up.
Looks like the boss is at... Again. Why? What's he doing now? He's on one of his drunk rants again. Except this time he's challenging everyone to a duel over in the hold. We've got him locked in there now, but he's still challenging anyone that looks crooked at him. Someone should let that cat loose. Thought it shut him up real quick. Hey, don't say that too loud. You don't want it getting back to him.
Not your best.
Nope. Come here. Oh. Ow. Alright. There's a lot in there. I think it'd be better if I send in Undying Ghost. I choose you.
What's he doing now?
Someone there? Something?
Ah. Get him.
You can't win this!
Do I have a poison? My... I hear that.
Can't wait! Count on your coin.
Ow. Ah. Just my strategy here.
Looks like the boss is at it again. Someone there? Damn you! Only a fool tries to kill the dead! You start running so I can stab you in the back.
The endless sleep
Finish
for
this!
us all. You can never truly stop me.
Got your
Come on.
back, huh? Can't wait. Count out your coin.
Ah.
Victory is yours. I submit.
So I got 360. Shoot him. Alright. Cheese wheels. Alright. And there are beds in there, I think. Let's grab some food. A little bar here. Also heal. Alright. They're looking for me. I don't have a bed. I need to level up.
She said
Alright. There's gotta be a bed somewhere. These guys are pretty well established. Chest? Got me invisible. Is there any potions I can drop? Don't need those.
Huh?
Beds. There we go. Oh, there's a book here. Presidium and Norks. Let me sleep first. Good 4 hours. Health. Anything to upgrade my sneak and my bow. There we go. Arcerium and Orcs. Oh, that leveled me up real quick. Alright, let's see. Oh, I also apologize because I am hearing someone's mowing the lawn outside. right now, so if you're picking that up, apologies. How Orsinium passed to the orcs by Menyan Sots. The year was Third Era 399, and standing on the mountainside overlooking a vast tract of land between the lands of Menevia and Wayrest was a great and learned judge, an arbitrator and magistrate, impartial in his submission to the law. "You have a very strong claim to the land, my lad," said the judge. "I won't lie to you about that, but your competition has an equal claim. This is what makes my particular profession difficult at times." "You would call it my competition?" sneered Lord Bowen, gesturing to the orc. The creature called Gortwog Gron Nagorm looked up with baleful eyes. "He has ample documentation to make a claim to the land," the magistrate shrugged, "and the particular laws of our land do not discriminate between particular races. We had a Bosner regency once, many generations ago. But what if a pig or a slaughterfish turned up demanding the property? Would they have the same legal rights as I?" "If they had the proper papers, I'm afraid so," smiled the judge. "The law is very clear that if two claimants for equal titles and the property are set in deadlock, a duel must be held. Now, the rules are fairly archaic, but I've had opportunity to look them over, and I think they're still valid. The Imperial Council agrees." "What must we do?" asked the orc, his voice low and harsh, unused to the tongue of the Cyrodiils. "The first claimant, that's you, Lord Gortwog, may choose the armor and weapon of the duelists. The second claimant, that's you, Lord Bowen, may choose the location. If you would prefer either or both, you may choose a champion, or you may duel yourself." The Breton and the orc looked at one another, evaluating. Finally, Gortwog spoke. "The armor will be orcish, and the weapons will be common steel longswords. No enchantments, no wizardry allowed. The area will be central courtyard of my cousin Lord Burlith's palace in Wayrest," said Bowen, looking Gortwog in the eye scornfully. "None of your kind will be allowed in to witness." So it was agreed. Gortwog declared he would fight the duel himself, and Bowen, who was a fairly young man and in better than average condition, felt that he could not keep his honor without competing himself as well. Still, upon arriving at his cousin's palace a week before the duel was scheduled, he felt the need to practice. A suit of orcish armor was purchased, and for the first time in his life, Bowen wore something of tremendous weight and limited faculty. Bowen and Berilith sparred in the courtyard. In 10 minutes' time, Bowen had to stop. He was red-faced and out of breath from trying to move in the armor. To add to his exasperation, he had not scored one blow on his cousin and had dozens of feinted strikes scored on him. "I don't know what to do," said Bowen over dinner. "Even if I knew someone who could fight properly in the beastly steel, I couldn't possibly send in a champion to battle Gortwog." Berilith commiserated. As the servants cleared the plates, Bowen stood up in his seat and pointed at one of them. "You didn't tell me that you had an orc in your household." "Sir," whined the elderly specimen, turning to Lord Berilith, certain that he caused offense somehow. "You mean old Tumner?" laughed Berilith. "He hasn't been with my house. He's been with my house for ages. Would you like him to give you training on how to move in orcish armor?" "Would you like me to?" asked Tumner, obsequiously. Unknown to Barilith, but known to him now, his servant had once ridden with the legendary cursed Legion of High Rock. He not only knew how to fight in Orcish armor himself, but had acted as trainer to other orcs before retiring into domestic service. Desperate, Bowen immediately engaged him as his full-time trainer. "You try too hard, sir," said the orc on their first day in the area. "It is easy to strain yourself in heavy mail. The joints are just to let you bend with only a little effort. If you fight against the joints, you won't have any strength to fight your foe." Bowen tried to follow Tunder's instructions, but he quickly grew frustrated. And the more frustrated he got, the more intensity he put into his work, which tired him out even quicker. While he took a break to drink some water, Barilith spoke to his servant. If they were optimistic about Bowen's chances, their faces did not show it. Tunner trained Bowen hard the next 2 days, but her ladyship Elisora's birthday followed hard upon them, and Bowen enjoyed the feast thoroughly. A liquor of poppies and goose fat and cocktish tinch with buttered hyssop for a first course, roasted pike, cobwort, and balls of rabbit meat for a second, sliced fox tongues, ballam pudding with oyster gravy, bataglier weed and beans for the main course, calenquiva ice and sugar fritters for dessert. As Bowen was settling back afterwards, his eyes weary, he suddenly spied Gortwog and the judge entering the room. "What are you doing here?" he cried. "The duel's not for another 2 days." "Lord Gortwog asked that we move it to tonight," said the judge. "You were training when my emissary arrived 2 days ago, but his lordship, your cousin, spoke for you, agreeing to the change of date." "But there's no time to assemble my supporters," complained Bowen, "and I've just devoured a feast that would kill a lesser man, cousin. How could you neglect to tell me?" "I spoke to Tunner about it," said Barilith, blushing unused deception. "We decided that you would be best served under these conditions." The battle in the area was sparsely attended. Saturated with food, Bowen found himself unable to move very quickly. To his surprise, the armor responded to his lethargy, rotating smoothly and elegantly to each stagger. The more he successfully maneuvered, the more he allowed his mind and not his body to control his defensive and offensive actions. For the first time in his life, Bowen saw what it was to look through the helmet of an orc. Of course, he lost, rather badly if scores had been tabulated. Gortwog was a master of such battle, but Bowen fought on for more than 3 hours before the judge reluctantly called a winner. "I will name the land Orsinium after the land of my fathers," said the victor. Bowen's first thought was that if he must lose to an orc, it was best that the battle was largely unwatched by his friends and family. As he left the courtyard to go to the bed he had longed for earlier in the evening, he saw Gortwog speaking to Tunner. Though he did not understand the language, he could see that they knew each other. When the Breton was in bed, he had a servant bring the old orc to him. "Tunner," he said kindly, "speak frankly to me. You wanted Lord Gortwog to win." "That is true," said Tunner, "but I did not fail you. You fought better than you would have fought 2 days hence, sir. I did not want Orsinium to be won by its king without a fight." Sip some of my tea. Alright, anything up here? Let's see, what do we got? Oop, hello. Right in the gut. Ah. And then we have that big old cat there, who we're just gonna let out.
Send another one. Send two. I don't care.
Go get him, kitty.
What are you waiting for? I know you. Time to take your chance.
Oh, I had a quest here actually. I was not aware. Hey. Go get him, kitty. Sorry, kitty. Alright, then he's in there.
Where are you? Can't hide from me.
Ah.
Still.
Ah. Whew, I just missed that. Alright. Hey. Stand still when I'm trying to kill you. Where are you going? Your auto-pathing is atrocious. Ah. Alright. Go, my ghost. Get him. Get him. Alright, huh. I had a quest here and I didn't even realize it. Oh, we got a journal. I've long suspected the Darkwater Snake is my older brother, Urzog. The fact that he would take on that moniker made it all the more obvious. It may be the same person that ran in grandfather's blood is what made him betray us. Are we doomed to repeat the mistakes of our ancestors? Sometimes I wonder. So it looks like... killed his bro. Body is here. Oh, what do we got? Headman's cleaver. Oh, I mean, that's a pretty cool two-handed weapon. What do we got? Urzog's journal. I've always beaten my little brother in everything. Cards, I had better hands. Brawls, likewise. When we raced up the ramparts of the old castle, I would always be the first to reach the peak. Mother said the difference between myself and my brother was that he was a perfectionist, and I was a conqueror. She said I wanted to beat him at everything, and it drove me to become a great warrior. But my brother didn't care for my competition. As a perfectionist, he simply wanted to sharpen his skills and work with others if he thought it would better himself. Mother said that's why he would make the better ruler. My brother would forever try to improve our standing, whereas I was content being the better than the next man. Well, little did she know the next man was him. I'm going to enjoy killing you, little brother. Grandfather's venom may have failed to reach Mother's veins, but it will still reach her heart. Oy. Orcish armor. See what I got now. I don't need the helmet though. Alright, let me see what I look like with all these on. I mean, it's a look. But again, I'm not one for helmets. I can always get a helmet later. What boots? So silver boots is armor 8 versus 17. What else can I drop? Alright, Nice. Still need a better helmet. Or a better head thing. I'm gonna try, because that weapon does look pretty cool. Headman cleaver. Definitely need to loosen up some of my stuff, though. I don't need the pelt. Let's see what we got in this chest here. Ooh, cooked catfish. Choking grasp. Alchemy. Nice. Ooh, let's cook some food. A cat? No, I don't want cat. Well, I do have catfish. Make some cabbage soup. Cooked dire fish. What else do we got? Oh, let me go get... There was the saber cat. Very good. Very good. Almost got to leveling up. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hello. Try this out.
Over here.
Whoa. Potions. Nice. Did you guys have a bed up here? Very nice. Quick sleep to level up. I'm gonna upgrade my stamina so I can carry a little bit more. Let's increase my heavy armor rating so I can be a little bit more protected in battle. Alright. Geronimo! Sploosh. Fish. I don't need to catch fish. I have food. Got enough food. Swimmy, swimmy, swimmy. Fishy, 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 fishies. Fishies. I wonder if I could just like, Sushi. Sushi. I can fish here too. Alright. Let us leave. Oh, but there's a secret thing here I didn't notice. Must get all secrets. Secret, secret, secret. Secret, secret, secret. Ooh. Silver boots. I already have one of those. Dwarven armor. Is that better than my one I'm wearing right now? That's 54 versus 46. Definitely not. Swimmy, 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 swim. Swimmy, 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 swim. Bah. I wish there was a way to swim faster. Alright, exit this way. Run it in the 90s, and who and everything. And I just run it in the 90s. When I'm not home, I'm trying to think. Hopefully the Orcish armor is going to give me a bit warmer. Rating, because I am going to be needing to head up the mountain. Alright, horse. Back on dive instead. We'll stop there, we'll sell some of our stuff. Alright, is that gold? That's gold, isn't it? Oh, it's conundrum. Let's skip that. Alright, let's get back onto the path. I was heading this way. Pretty sure. Hello. I know, I'm not gonna deal with Tangle with you guys right now. I kinda just want to get the Ive instead. I'm pretty full up on accoutrements. I don't really have any more space for venturing. I gotta off-road.
Never should have come here.
I love the fact that wild horses, they can run so far. Bear. You do there. See what I mean? Look how fast. Look how far I'm running. Still gotta rename you, horse. Hilder doesn't really fit ya. Need something that's a bit more naturey, you know? Bear! Why is there a bear at the middle of the road? Eat the rats, bear. What's the thing here? Don't make me do it. Don't activate when I walk by you. Okay, good. Ah. Dang it! Yeah, I activated it. I gotta go in now. Let's hope this is a quick one. Really? Okay, I don't need those. It's my time. Ooh, I'm already out of time. So many sidetracking missions. We'll get done this thing. And then Are you alright there, hun? Alright. Witches. What am I hearing? Go. Yeah. Very nice. Where's Big Mama? I have a feeling there's gonna be a Big Mama. There's usually a Big Mama spider. I'm out of arrows. No. Let's use my... Come at me. Right? I don't have... Oh wait, I just picked up some arrows. What am I talking about? Alrighty. To read that later. We are out of time. Alright, was that it? Oh, no, there's the second way. Friggin' hag raven. Go get him, buddy. You're welcome. You're welcome, buddy. Spirit of the forest. Can I disenchant anything? Ah. Very good. Alright, I think that was it for here. Find a good spot to end it. Oh, wait, there's a beautiful chest here. And an alchemy thing. I just did fire resistance. Shocks. Let's get that. Disenchant that. Very nice. Alright. Gotta do a quick bit of alchemy. See what ingredients I have that I don't know anything about. Learning new things from mixing random stuff. But yeah, as I'm doing this, I'm probably gonna just get ready to end the episode. Which hopefully I've been doing some pretty good reading so far. I think I'm getting better just with random reading. It's good to have. Garlic. So yeah, I think that's going to end it for now. I'm almost to Ivanstead. And I got a new set of armor, which is nice. Still need a better hood. This one does look pretty, like, ugh. I just wish it was a different color other than blue. I wish they had options. Also, I need a better bow and arrow. This one is kind of garish looking. Which, hope we're gonna sell some stuff in Ivanstead when I get there. Hopefully they have a smithery. I can upgrade my armor and stuff. And then we make the trek up the mountain to see the Greybeards. Hope you're enjoying my playthrough so far. And my narration. Kinda know I'm off and on. Ooh, the rain coming in through there looks pretty cool. Alright. Show you're able. Ugh, pardon me. Oh, I gotta do some stuff. Okay, well, it's been it for this episode. Tune back in a little bit later. I'll continue on with my reading. I'm making good progress, but I still have a lot to go. Alright. See you guys later.